I never thought it was for me at the start, but I've met some amazing people. To me, I feel like it's a second home because I've got used to the people that work here and they understand me with my mental health and stuff. If I go anywhere else, I feel I can't get nowhere. This project has made an impact on my confidence, and I'm glad to be part of it, and I've really enjoyed it, and I do want to thank everyone that's taken part. That's just been an absolute pleasure.
So the Making Tracks project came about really because, in some ways, because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We were in a situation where the building was closed and the students weren't here anymore, they weren't with us. I felt very strongly that we needed to respond to the situation, we needed to be working with a group of people who were probably going to be most adversely affected by the pandemic. There is a lot of programs, there's lots of voluntary work, opportunities. Even within the pandemic there were those opportunities, but there wasn't the focus on work. Before the pandemic we met Tom Cliff from TRACK, who are our partner in the project.
So TRACK is designed to support autistic adults to access employment, and there's two main sides to the business. One is supporting individuals who want to get into work, and the other part of it is about supporting employers to make sure that their workplace is not only aware of autism but also accepting and creating an environment where everyone can thrive in the workplace. And it soon became apparent that actually some of what we did here at the cafe we could replicate there, but also that we would be able to offer a much greater range of opportunities for people. That's key, because what we're always looking to do at TRACK is create opportunities for individuals, and what we recognise is people like different things.
We were overwhelmed with response, not only from individuals, but from referral agencies.
I think from our experience, one of the main barriers people face is lack of awareness to start with. I think people assume that everyone knows what autism means, and sometimes people have a general definition, but actually one of the challenges is making sure that people understand that it varies for each individual, and that's why supporting people on a one-to-one basis is really key.
We've had amazing support from our wider team, so as well as being able to appoint Rachel Sutton as our work placement coach, who's been amazing, we also appointed a wider team of people. Mari Gracie, a community artist who has delivered the art pathway, Ian Talbot, who has delivered the woodwork and design pathway, and then we've had two staff internally, so our caretaker, site manager Clive Woodwards, and Joe Page, our catering manager, and they've all worked on a one-to-one level with our trainees, and Rachel herself has done work on the gardening pathway. And having that wider team to support those trainees on an individual one-to-one basis has been part of the success of the programme. Those personal relationships, that one-to-one support has made a huge difference.
So each week all the placements have been involved in one on-site activity, whether that's based around woodwork and creating of planters and bird boxes and storage cupboards, to art placements who have developed items for our shop. We've had people in doing gardening to improve the site area of the old school, and also people helping in the cafe. So as well as an on-site sort of session, they've also taken part in an online activity each week, which has looked at things like what are our strengths and how they can be used in the workplace. We've also taken the opportunity each week to invite one or two people from very varied different careers that the placements have all said that they might be interested in working in, and we've taken that opportunity to ask questions about those jobs, which has also had this side effect of building confidence in communicating with strangers as well as communicating on online platforms, which is great because obviously in the current situation that is how the majority of workplace interviews and correspondence is going to take place. So we've managed to build confidence enough that people who've gone from not wanting to speak on the online sessions and not having their camera on to being confidently be able to explain what they've been doing during the placements and ask questions to effectively total strangers, which has been superb. We've also been running an online session for a social because we've been unable to meet as a group, so we've also had an online session. So those are the group activities, and then each week every placement has had a one-to-one session with myself, plus other bits during the week to see how we're going into how to progress their individual journey.
We've had different pathways which we put people on, and they've had an opportunity to swap as well. So we've had some people who've started on the maintenance pathway with Clive and then gone on to do the design and woodwork pathway with Ian.
If you've not had any interaction, whether in a workplace or socially or within education for 4 or 5 years, the actual concept of just coming out and coming to a place and being with other people is a huge step.
It's not about teaching people to make cups of tea and coffee. It's about building up confidence. It's about finding out how people work well, what support they need, and then moving them on to where they want to go to.
The current situation with COVID, it's been difficult to actually give people work experience placements or day visits to different workplaces in which they're interested in. So all of the work placements have been focused at the old school, which has been superb because it has addressed those needs that we didn't realise would be really big, such as the self-confidence and the self-esteem and the learning, and with that things like developing self-organisation and self-reliance.
So what have you been doing this morning, Lee?
Doing some opening checks.
Yeah?
And I've been taking people's orders and their payment.
Easier now, because you've done it lots.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So the project has done a great job at doing that, and hopefully in the future, when COVID allows, we'll be able to move on to how that can then be taken into the workplace. Some of the things that have revealed themselves as barriers before you even get to that interview and all the issues that may cause. There's lots of things that we found during the project which have an impact on getting to that point. So, for example, dealing with everyday issues such as making telephone calls, getting people installed online, and finding setting them up with email addresses, which yes are going to come into play in the workplace, but need to exist as skills for general life.
Do you think it's helped you in any way? Do you think it's...
Well, I think it's helped me to get out of doors and socialise with people.
Brilliant. And do you think it's helped your confidence at all?
Yes, I do, Rachel, yes.
Yeah. I think it has. From when I first met you, I think...
Because I was quite shy, wasn't I? I didn't like to mix with people.
But now, you're quite happy to have a chat. You had a nice chat with Clive earlier, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
What we have to recognise is that everyone on there is making their own track and they're making their own personal progress, and everyone's done that. So I think the work that Rachel and the team at Old School have put in place, you can see the difference it's made to individuals, whether that be in terms of developing confidence, moving closer to employment, into employment, and you really can't put a price on that.